Hello and welcome to week 7, week 8, something like that. OCC recap with me, Cornite, and my special guest, Galentio. Say hello, Galentio.
Hello.
All right. So, I just remembered something else I forgot, but anyway, we'll worry about that later. So we're gonna crack straight into 2A, yeah. Which is Ethelred's division. Ethelred is not here because he's on holiday, so I've also been playing his games. Hey, Tom, by the way, and also hey, General Ratimo. I need to say hello and not hello. Sorry for the London accent. Yeah. So, we just Let's look. We're looking at last week's, and we're going to go through the match days, starting with Ratimo's game. In fact, against Lepe, which Ratimo did stream. Sorry, I should be on like that, shouldn't I? But we don't want to be on that actually, because we don't want to give things away. So, how do you feel this game went, Ratimo? Oh, he's already put dice in the.
I
Yeah,
think I was seeing that game right. You
yeah.
just
I
couldn't
think
do anything.
I don't know if it was that bad. I felt like he rolled some dice at the beginning that were slightly risky, very, 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 very slightly risky, and it just snowballed badly, right? So it wasn't like, uh, it wasn't. It was dicing. It was totally unlucky. He was totally unlucky. Um, but he played less. He played more risky than I would play Kislev in the first turn, and then after that, it kind of got away with him.
Hmm. It like this is the kind of game that I would picture most of Leffe games would be. To be honest, considering how the skills that the team has, that they normally can't do it. Maybe because, maybe because it's his lack of positioning, but this time he just snowballed and like basically Norse the Kislev.
Yeah,
Kislev tried to be more aggressive to make up for it, having less players, but he just made the problem worse.
yeah. I don't think the fouling helped either, right? So I think he had players
Yeah,
sent off early, and that meant even less players to play
yeah,
with and stuff.
he had fouls that would normally send a player off, like remove a player, but it would just roll very low
Hmm.
or roll snakes or
Oh, there
something.
was only one send off. I thought I remembered more than that. But fine.
Yeah, he did a lot of fouls, but most of them didn't do much, basically.
Oh yeah, blitz under the ball, roll 1D into 2+2+ touchdown. Yeah, okay. I missed the beginning, so maybe I missed that bit.
Mm-hmm. At the beginning was the deciding factor
Yeah.
of the game, basically. It just snowballed from there.
And after that was Ratimo going, "Oh my god, I can't do anything."
Yeah. Bunny rage.
Yeah. So how many people actually bet on Ratimo, and where are the predictions? Boom,
Yes,
there's
I can
predictions.
help. I know computers. Well, I voted for the Ratam on that one, but some people voted for Leife. It was Berto, Danton.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, is that the first time um
I think
Berto's
it's the first time he's voting, yes. He joined recently, right?
yeah, so I need to add the name.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of my IELF against the Bretonians game. Like by turn 5 I didn't have a team. It wasn't as grave as Ratomo, but considering Lefe's team is already GG almost sometimes. Especially on that drive. On the first drive. Okay, Berto,
Yeah, it's done.
Danton, Guido, Ennio. Coordinate.
Bertol, Danton,
Oh,
Guido,
he's
and
self-win, Berto.
yeah.
Okay,
And me, did you say? Woo, a point. Hurrah.
yes. Hoorah.
Who?
How many
Right.
points do I have? Oh, almost first. Didn't
All right, fine.
realize.
I'm happy with 28. Um, and then down.
Still lower than Ethel though.
Uh,
Voting for the unlikely results is paying off for him.
I think he stopped voting for the unlikely results recently because it wasn't paying off at the beginning, but I might be wrong.
Hmm.
Um,
Now,
oh yeah, and then down 3 players, turn 2 or something. So yay. Says Ratmo. All right.
uh, on Spike we don't have the next match. I think it was concession, but I'm not sure.
So I want to do this and
No,
then
no, it was played yesterday. I see now the result here. It was
ah
on Discord.
the
The Spike didn't
Feyenoord
update.
and Sons. It's sometimes Spike it can be delayed, but quite often they just it misses out some matches.
Okay, I
So
have the.
it just
I
never.
can send you the. If you go to the Discord, you can click on the match and see the
Ah,
stats.
yeah, good point. Yeah, okay. Or I can just find it in there, right? So that I can recognize the symbol. Oh, in fact, there it is. Yeah, easy. Boom.
Hmm.
Oh, boom. There we go.
Seems like a classic elf versus undead match where the undead tried to remove the elves, but the elves just scored. Maybe he got the ball stolen and just got frustrated and tried to go for kills instead of the ball. That
5
happens.
send-offs, which
Yep,
is impressive. Which is a lot
impressive.
if you're fouling every turn, let alone. So that's they probably
I
were fouling every turn to get 5 send-offs, weren't they?
yeah.
Oh, actually,
Uh,
they had a chainsaw as well. He hack counts as a send-off when he's not that on.
mhm.
So I think it's only 4 proper send-offs, right?
Yeah, it was probably he couldn't like the elf stole the ball, screened really well. He couldn't get to the ball with his movement for zombies and start fouling everything that he could.
Yeah, yeah. So
Well,
a quarter of the game, the ball's on the floor though.
yeah, like
So there
might
must be
be
a bit of
disputed.
yeah. There was some fighting over the ball at some point.
I'd guess at the start of his drive there was then the elves had the ball off of the game, so
But
yeah.
I have a feeling Palladius was the favoured coach. Oh my god, yes.
He was by far the favorite. Everyone gets a point. I
Everyone who
don't even know.
voted for Palladius. Which is totally unfair. It's one of those things where betting doesn't really match the reality of how balanced. Like I don't think C Pervert is that much worse of a coach that no one should have bet on him, right? But no one did. So
Yeah, it's like TV down and dead. It's even worse at ITV because they can just they can't keep up basically. Like yeah, you have some ghouls with a few skills, a pair of mummies, but at that TV everyone has mighty low some in some way or another, and then the zombies are just kind of useless. Sometimes they're good for falling, but not much more. You know. Well, it's maybe we should still say who voted because I don't think everyone voted on this one.
yeah, no, there are people who missed out, which is a pain. So I've gone through most of them, but you can read them out if you like. Well,
Okay,
I
I'll try to do
quote.
Berto Broccoli, Philadia Stanton, Ethel Carnite, me, Ratamo, Guido, and Spider. And Philadius, I didn't say. I don't know if I said Philadius.
Did you say Ratamo there as well? You did.
But it's easier to say you didn't. It was basically Uf Park didn't vote, Nibanen didn't vote, Gruff didn't vote,
Yeah,
and Dreamland didn't vote, and Carmack didn't vote.
yeah. No, Carmack missed out as well. So I've done him. All right. So the next game is
Norse
James.
versus Pro Elves.
Yeah, James Cook again pulling out a result that I have a feeling not many people will have voted for.
A couple of people voted for it.
Yeah,
Sylph and Guido.
yeah. But yeah, the pro elves surviving the onslaught of the 5 pro elves plus Dolfar and Prince Moranion, and I guess a wizard, and I guess something else.
Every inducement. Probably bribes since he has a sent off.
Oh, he's got a Merc dodge catcher as well.
Okay, that's interesting.
So that's 180 for that player.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
Could be around that. I don't think it's worth it. I would probably go for Babes or Apothecary, but it's
I
a
mean,
lot of inducements.
yeah, you got a lot. Maybe if like
It's not as
Appos can fail, and it's still a good player, and it's more bodies, right? I'm not sure that I would have taken a dodge player. So
yeah.
much.
I'll take another lineman at most, but not a catcher.
Although to be fair, the
Maybe
Norse
think.
don't have much tackle, but they do have a lot of frenzy. So
Also got like 6 mercs to fill out his team, so it's like 360. Still have like 800.
no,
Is this a game where you get more like East Norse?
Against a Claw Yeti is a bit scary, isn't it? He might get removed.
Yeah.
Whereas having 14 players, pretty good.
I would get a better star player than Dolfar in trade for the Merc catcher, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I'd have gone Moranion and Hubris Rakar, because he's got Mighty Blow, gives you a bit of extra punching power. Eldril, I'd worry about him dying, but you know.
He's there to make holes, so you can score quickly when you need to.
But also, I feel like the problem with this Norse team is being massively out-strengthed, right? So having a couple of strength 4 blitzers would be a nice improvement.
I'd say it's a scary team, but at the same time, they are very bloaty.
Yeah, 100%. Double. So so Ethelred is on holiday, so I am playing his games this week, and this is who I'm playing this week. And I will be aiming for that runner. Oh yes. But anyway,
that runner is juicy.
Yeah, that's another story. Who bet on the draw? It was Guido and Silfwin. Okay, I put Silfwin under Berto, but and Guido.
Yeah, I think it was similar to the Undead game. The elves just. It was not. Sorry. It was like the elves were able to score. The Norse were only able to score once. Might have been some elf screenings, looking at the casualties and KOs. Might have given a lot of blocks just to try to stall the ball. And it resulted into a tie.
Okay, next game was the game that I played, which is Ethelred's game, against Weblin's Average Pros. Were you watching this? We were talking? Were we talking during this, or was it me and Ethel that talked?
Maybe you and Ethel.
Yeah.
You haven't had much time this week.
But basically, I think it went okay. Nothing died. Ethelred maybe thought I should have used the wizard on turn 7, but I didn't feel like the recovery chance was good enough. Yeah. So I held off, intending to score on early, and then wizard in the late in the second half. But the pros held me up too much, and I just ended up just getting it in on turn 16.
It seems like a classic elf versus elf game.
Yeah, the two wizards were interesting. I definitely think he played his offense differently because of the wizard, and I had to do the same a bit as well. He ended up fireballing, and the fireball only hit one player, which didn't really give him enough space to work with. Which is why I didn't use the wizard on turn 7, so I felt like it wasn't gonna do enough. So like similar logic.
Well, considering how Weblin is, it was a good uh,
Hmm.
result for Vettel.
Yeah.
Might even steal the tier champ win from Weblin.
It's close. No, it's not that close. I think there's like what there's 2 games left, right? I think Weblin and Silfwin are a couple of points ahead of everyone else.
Mhm.
But who went for the draw in this one?
Philadius and the Spider.
Ah, it's going for 17 and Spider going up to 44.
That bastard.
Okay, last game of the week is Kia Seeds, Karawa, the Bretts. Again, Silfwin's Red Riding Hood.
Or on croissants.
Yeah, I
Don't
didn't.
you have French? You should
Yeah,
know
yeah,
this.
no, but it's still, I'm not. My pronunciation is terrible, and my mum was a French teacher and told me off for bad pronunciation all the time, so it makes me nervous about pronouncing French words a lot.
Omelette de fromage.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, bonjour, murky broke up. Anyway,
Okay. Anyway.
2-0 to the Wood Elves, even though they lost their one catcher that they'd been trying to build to
Mhm.
death. Uh,
Yep. That's good. The MVP went to the loner.
oh, I have a feeling Silfwin say something about this game in the things. I vaguely remember
Let me see.
some words were had. I think was this played quite early on. Yeah, here we go.
Mm,
Well, I was planning on scoring with him, but Kia had other plans. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So no, I said. What do you give some the player who's? Oh, yeah. The Blitz has become a legend as well. And what do you give him when
yeah.
he's got?
I don't even. Depends if they roll doubles or stats. If they don't roll doubles, it's like guard, I guess, or mighty blow.
Hmm.
If they
But
do not,
yeah, I pointed out that the strength guard player who really desperately needs SPP didn't get scored on, and Berto or Silfwin did say in Discord he intended to try, but Kia had other plans,
mm,
um, and he took an extra apothecary for this game. Um, but the catcher died, and even though he had an extra apothecary, he didn't use it because he didn't want to waste it on a 0 SPP catcher.
yeah,
4 SPP, 3 SPP catcher even.
for 3 SPP. It's like Sylphin's team is one of the most slippery ones in all of OCC. Everyone has freaking dodge or blodge or rodge or anything that's annoying.
So
Uh,
sorry, I've just caught up on chat, which was a bit about the last game. So Weblin said I did indeed, which I'm not entirely certain what he did indeed to, but probably. But Tom says, man, gets you to play his games for him, still gives critique. Just roll your R's and drop the last letter of most words. Easy French accent, yes, indeed.
okay,
Yeah, sorry, bit
but
behind.
yeah,
Still Finn.
yeah, two tackle isn't enough against Sylphin. Like my human struggled, but yeah, it's Wood Elves at ITV. It's the opposite end of the death team. It's the team that you can't catch or block
Uh,
much often because they have
but I
dodge
mean,
block most of the time.
this is the problem that happens though, right? The catcher dies, and he now only has really like 4 players who aren't linemen, right? The linemen are taking a lot of TV up with their blodge, wrestle, and other skills, or Rog wrestle, and he's still
Mhm.
not got a catcher, and they end up being high TV, and you can't save up for new players, and you do get a kind of painful bit of a spiral with elves.
Yeah, because catchers are very much targeted. Like the after war dancers, it's the catchers basically.
I
Yeah.
mean, basically, well, there's also the fact that after war dancers, they're the thing the opponent wants to hit the most. But you're busy protecting the war dancers, so the catchers often end up being thrown to the wind, right?
I normally
Um,
can. Normally, an elf team can protect three players well, but the play style of the wood elves is to stretch out the game as much as possible, so it's not easy.
no, and also you've got an agi 5 thrower that you need to protect. So and a
Yeah,
strength 4 guarder, which I'd protect more than I'd protect a catcher at the a rookie catcher.
that's the problem with strength for elves. They become some kind of positional that doesn't have block or dodge. It's just there being
Yeah,
a strong boy.
totally agree. That is what basically I said when he took it. Right, I'm not certain I agree with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if he has guards, he should be someone that should be in contact more often than not. So,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know. Well,
Okay.
but
Did we do betting on this already? I can't remember. No, I don't think we
uh,
did.
we did it. I voted for a tie. I'm done. Uh, Sylph, Philadius, and you.
Woo. Silfwin doing very well on having only bet one set of games. Silfwin and Palladius both doing really well. If only they started, they only joined earlier in the season,
Mhm.
which is good because it'd be more people to be ahead of me.
Are any of them like veterans of OCC or they're just rising stars now?
Palladius has been around for a while.
Mm,
I don't know about Silfwin.
okay.
I mean I know Palladius from UKBBL, but I think he's been in OCC for a long time as well.
Mhm.
Type thing.
Yeah, I'm expecting Levlin and Silfoin to go to tier one next season.
Oh yeah, I think that's well. We've got what that is the last game, so let's look at the table. I prefer looking at the table in Blood Bowl 3, Blood Bowl 3, Blood
Three?
Bowl 2.
Wow.
Yeah, I really like looking
Wow.
at the table in Blood Bowl 3. The,
Uh,
where
This
we
this
haven't
stream was about to get very popular
we
all of a
haven't even
sudden.
seen the table in Blood Bowl 3 yet. There is no table in Blood Bowl 3.
I dread how the leagues are gonna be formed in Blood Bowl 3 when it launches.
I can't wait to see um, the admin tools because there were basically none at all when Blood Bowl 2 came out, and I'm fully expecting there to be none at all when Blood Bowl 3 comes out. So
Jesus.
it's all well and good to say is OCC going to move over to Blood Bowl 3, but it does depend a little bit on their ability to actually run a competition.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and you might have to live with with at least a week or two of oh my god, we're missing games, we don't know where they've gone.
Well,
Anyway, that's not the matter. Yes. So, as we said, Silfwin and Weblin looking pretty good for qualifying at the moment. What's that? So that's
they're
Silfwin's on 15, Weblin's on 14.
they have the exact same touchdowns
Oh,
and
really?
touchdown difference.
Ah, but
Five touchdown difference. They scored 13 and suffered 8.
so
It's furious.
one of how does that work? What? So one of oh that so when Silfwin lost, he lost badly enough that it was worse than the score of two draws. So he lost by two touchdowns when he lost.
Mhm.
In fact, is all that. Well, assuming that the wins were equal, which they probably are.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, and then Palladius, Ethelred, James Cook, all on 10 points. And as was it Palladius pointed out, top five are all elves.
Hmm.
Bottom five are all the non-elves. So
Yeah.
divided perfectly in half.
I
Uh,
still think that the Norse have a good chance to be third.
oh yeah, they do. They're only well, both the Norse and Kia are only a point behind.
You're playing the next game also, so you're
Yeah,
gonna basically decide if Ethel climbs divisions or not.
yeah, and possibly the game after as well, because he's got a work thing that means he might not be able to play the last week either.
Jesus.
Yeah,
He getting carried.
yeah, indeed. Maybe I'll kill one of his best players to make him pay
That
for it.
would be interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's entirely likely it will happen anyway, right? Anyway, well, let's have a look at how likely it is because let's look at the games coming up, right? But the first
Hmm.
game, the first game is actually Ratamo against Silfwin.
I think Ratamo is gonna struggle with this one. Sorry,
Yeah,
Ratamo.
are you gonna stream it, Ratamo? Have you organised it yet? Um,
The only the only thing that can maybe save no, he has the thrower has sure hands. Forget it.
well, no, I mean also it's like it's Wood Elves against Kislev. They could go for a shootout, and the Wood Elves are better at the shootout, right? That's the thing.
Yeah,
So
they're also gonna have around Kislev lineman is like 60k, right?
yeah, so I was just trying to work out how many. There are 8 Wood Elves. So there's 3 loners for the Wood Elves, which
It's
means
180 inducements or more. And
yeah,
it's more because the Wood Elves have three less players. So
yeah.
it's 70. Hey, that's a lot. Jesus.
So the Wood Elves are actually 1730.
390, I think.
Oh
That's
Jesus,
the
yeah.
thing with Wood Elves. They miss a couple of linemen and all of a sudden the inducements are doubled, you know.
Yeah, so 390. Yeah. So
Knowing
so
Ratamo, knowing Ratamo, it's gonna be fouling things.
I mean
Like a
actually
wizard fouling.
I mean that makes sense in this game, right? Your win condition is removing elves. I don't mind the
Yeah.
fouling here, but you do need to get
That,
them
that's
down though. That's the trouble.
that's the only way I see Ratamo winning is getting some elves on the ground and just going Russian on them,
Going Russian.
getting pub stumped in the floor. For you know, he only has one dirty player, but I think he can hire a merc with dirty player if
That's
he
what
has
I mean.
enough.
That's what he did last time, and I think it's good to have a bit of a bench with 390.
Especially with Kislev
Yeah,
and no and no bear. The tree will not make much of a difference in this game. I don't even know why. Like I don't know if I agree with Sylphin getting the tree at this point.
I mean when I was running Wood Elves, the name of the team was named was a tree related pun that meant I kind of had to take the tree, and I think Sylphin is the same, where he's his he's
Oh,
Red Riding Wood, and Red Riding Wood is the tree, right?
okay. So it's the gimmick. I can respect that.
Yeah, exactly. More important than logic. I do think
Yeah, I,
trees are actually a good thing in long-term leagues. I do think they save you on some attrition, and occasionally they bang out opponents as well. Like you
mhm.
getting one 3D with Mighty Blow on the LOS is pretty sweet, right?
Yeah, getting like the least players there in the field, the easier it is for the elves to score,
Yeah.
even more than other teams. Um, but yeah, I think it's like 70% in favor of Silvo and 30% on Ratamu.
But that is not what the betting is going to show because everyone
But
is going to bet for Silverwin.
yeah, everyone is gonna bet for the most likely, of course.
Ethelred might go for a draw. I think a draw is a it's no draw is not very likely, is it?
No,
This is a matchup where one of
the
them strips the ball and gets away with it and wins that way.
yeah, and Ratamu doesn't have sure hands, and the elves have two strip balls,
I mean,
so
I think
it's gonna get
Ratamo
awkward.
I think Ratamo needs to score quickly and repeatedly put the elves on defense, and then hope that he can remove enough of
Yeah,
them.
but he has two pieces with Mighty Blow, the Wealth at 3 and the Word
Yeah,
Answer, and just giving him more LOS. It's a complicated game.
yeah, it
It's
is.
not a good matchup,
No,
considering the skills.
it's not a great matchup considering the teams in the first place, but then
Mm-hmm.
having one of them being a massive team and the other one being decimated, it's not great either. So
They're
yeah,
the Wood Elves are better, are still in the ball than the Kislev are
yeah,
in this situation.
and with less leap, very long legs bloat, and more
Mm-hmm.
dodge on everyone.
Oh, they have the bloat of higher movement, but that's a problem for Kislev also. They're even faster than Kislev.
Fifth ever not fast though. That's the
Oh, they
problem.
have the fastest team in the game, but yeah,
Wood
despite despite Skaven, basically they're tied a bit with Skaven.
elves are, yeah. All right, so the next game is Weblin's average pro. Oh wait a second, let's just check something in case. No, because he was asking about what stadiums had to get themselves in.
Mm.
All right, cool. So Weblin's average pros, who is the other team at the top of the division at the moment, against Kia and his croissants. So the pros are on 1580 at the moment, but are missing 2 players. So actually, oh no, and have 50k bank though. So I'm guessing they're going to buy a new player, maybe 2,
Hmm. At least one.
at least 1 to get rid of the bank bloat. But then you could get another one, and then you could get. You kind of need to get 2 more if you're going to get more than 1. So it's 1 or 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd like to have a bench. I like having a bench as pros. I would go for the bench.
Yeah, I think it's essential to have a bench with pro elves
Yeah.
at some point. At higher TV, that's the only way that you're gonna like. You need to take advantage that your linemen are cheaper to have a bench, basically.
And but he's playing Kia. Yeah, Kia's very high TV, right? So Kia
Yeah.
now is the time to buy a bench. Well, you're saying you don't want to buy a bench now because you're afraid it's going to get deleted. Because I'd rather have a bench because that way you can use the bench to throw in front of this team with 5 mighty blow and
Yeah,
and
it's not gonna be an easy game. It's quite the anti-elf team. You can't you can make lines with guards that the elves can't block easily. Like just having 2 guards next to each other is already a problem, basically.
I
He
mean,
has one
so
guard.
if Weblin buys 1 lineman to get rid of his bloat, that will put his TV up to 1590. If he then bought 2 more linemen, that would put him up to 1710, which would still leave him with 370k of inducements, which is enough for a wizard and Eldril as well.
Hmm.
How about that?
Eldril? No, maybe Dolfar. I don't think you can get the Eldril.
Yeah, 370.
Oh no, he has the Wizard Stadium, right?
Is he at home? Yes, he is at home. No, he doesn't. He has the throw a rock and get the ref kickoff events cancelled. The squeak sandwich.
Okay, it's the thing. It's what he needs to decide there is does he get the 12th player, the 12th lineman, or does he not spend the money and get a star player instead, a better star player, just because the it's less 60k, more 60k to spend on a star player.
I'd he's practically qualifying already, right? He's like even losing, it's unlikely that he'll not qualify. He just needs to get like 3 points out of the next 2 games. No, he just needs to get 2 points out of the next 2 games, and he'll probably go through, right?
Yeah, Ethel doesn't have you. No, not Ethel. You don't have 2 games that are very easy to
Well,
win
and
even.
also the teams below Weblin still have games against each other, right? So Ethel
Philadius is gonna play James at the
yeah,
last round, but I think the most likely is Philadius to get third. To be
yeah,
honest,
plausibly.
considering his games.
So I think buying more players is the right thing to do long term as well, right? You want to build that bench.
Yeah, you want to build that ITV. You removed 3 players from me, but I still have a team kind of mentality.
And I think in response to you saying, doesn't Weblin have a Wizard Stadium? He says, I do not, my shame. Would you think about getting a Wizard Stadium now? Did you enjoy playing a game where both of us had Wizards? I think, I personally, I started off, I really hated the Wizard Stadium. I thought it was too much attrition for elves, but I've totally turned around. I think
Yeah,
they're
because Because the advantage of Wizard Stadium is that the elves, when they use the wizard, they have a lot more options to retrieve the ball where it bounces.
Mhm.
And the other teams, like if it's Nurgle and the ball falls, and they're only surrounded by like okay, Nurgle warriors or something, it's like
I mean,
they're
in that
gonna.
game where we were playing, we were both, I think, very aware of the wizards, and
Mhm.
you know, but I think a lot of opponents are not like a lot of bash coaches just don't know what to do with it and end up just either wasting it or not using it at all. So it ends up being just extra. Even when you're the lower TV team, I think it's worth taking.
Like
Um,
most of the batch coaches just play normally and try to bait out the wizard as soon as possible.
Weblin got the squeak sandwich kiosk because he first got it because he wanted his players to live, but now so many have died, he doesn't care. Which is
Yeah, like
like,
you don't play pro elves to be a pixel hacker. You play pro elves because it's fun and dying is part of life.
yeah, exactly. Embrace
If
it.
you want safe elves, go play high elves or dark elves, basically. And even so, they die a lot. Even so,
The
I think
betting is
there's
it.
a
The betting's interesting.
curse.
Ratamo has gone for Kia, but everyone else has gone for Weblin, which I don't think is. I think it's a scary game for Weblin. I'm going to go for a draw just because just being different. I think.
I think it's a scary game for Weblin, but still think he has the advantage in terms of the coaching and stuff.
Okay,
But
so
let's see.
the next game is well Duckwing against Ethelred, the Wolverine Fielders, the 2,220 TV Norse team,
Yeah,
14
this is
players.
yeah. This is a Norse team that's more suited to outbash other bash teams, even like to bully bash teams more than to get elves.
I
You
mean,
know?
it's like it's gonna be bully Dark Elves, that's for sure. Like the Dark Elves
Yeah.
are a kind of a slightly bashy elf team, right? I am not looking forward to this game. Uh,
Yeah. Like dark elves are the worst elves to go against this. Yes.
yeah, um,
Any other elves can just run around them and just run
and it
away.
is at Duckwing's stadium, which is the beer stand. So players
Oof.
getting pushed off get extra to their injury rolls.
So the pitch basically shrinks by one
And
square or more.
and what is interesting is he doesn't have any stand firm on his strength players. So
Hmm.
he's got two sidesteppers.
Well, both of you are frenzy, so
Yeah.
could be a fun game.
One of us may quite like surfing as well. Just saying.
Yeah, like I in the tournament I played against World Sitar, which is kind
Mhm.
of a good coach, let's just say.
Yeah.
And when he played Norse, he just pushed the game into the sideline just to have a surf off because he knew he had a lot more frenzy than me.
Yeah. He is a very good player. Crazy bashy. It's like he can just with frenzy and block he will outbash anything. It's amazing. I've seen him
Hmm.
murder orc teams. Just and it's just by taking so many blocks. Anyway,
Yeah.
11 players, 1830. So I will be getting 390 TV of inducements.
Hmm. What even spent?
Which obviously has to be a wizard, so really it's 250.
Wizards. How many players do you have?
I've got 11.
Maybe a star.
Yeah,
Even if it's still far, it's okay.
I don't think Dark Elves get Dolph, do they?
Hmm. Let me see.
They get Eldril, Horkon, Hubris, Ithaca Benowin, or Roxana Darknow. Oh, Roxana in a surfing competition. How about some Movement
Yeah,
8
but
Agi 5 Juggernaut?
you wouldn't get a wizard though. If you
Yeah,
get
she's
Roxanne.
250. She's actually exactly.
Oh, Dark Elf star players are really expensive. Jesus.
Yeah, there aren't. They're like, Eldril's the cheapest.
Yeah, 200 is the cheapest.
I mean, it is pretty cheap, right?
Yeah, considering play it's cheap, but considering every other team, they have 100k option basically.
Yeah, well, most teams have like the chainsaw option, don't they?
Chainsaw option or just a subpar. star player that's slightly better than a lineman.
Hmm. I was thinking about Hubris actually, but thinking about the combination of beer stand. No, Hubris is better for strength, but Roxana, I can juggernaut. Oh, okay. So I might be going for Hubris. I might be going for Roxy. At the moment, I'm thinking Roxy. Um, I don't normally play with
Considering the
her.
game, I would go Roxana, to be honest, but I don't know. Yeah,
And
Roxana or
again, I
Elgin.
really wish Ethelred had managed to keep some of his guard alive. Jesus.
You don't need guard where you're going.
Hubris does have
Like,
that secret help with the surfing of jump up. I let him get punched near the sidelines and then push players onto him.
yeah, that's a dangerous game.
Yeah. Also, when the berserkers also have jump up, like my opponent's probably going
Yep.
to recognize that skill too easily.
The
All
thing
right.
that these Norse don't have much is guard, which is not very meta, but
I mean, the trouble is, yeah, Norse find it hard to fit guard in. Like, obviously, they want doubles on linemen, but you can't magic up any doubles. Or in fact,
well, that lineman would you take guard instead of strength?
yeah, I would, yeah. For this team, maybe
Same.
like it's gone so far into the strength that maybe it's worth it, but I'd rather have a support player.
At this point, they look like AV7 Tomb Guardians,
I think I'd also
basically.
have guard instead of the tackle on the Allfinder as well. And I wouldn't take jugs on the Yeti. I'd take stand firm.
Well, it's the last skill. What the hell do you get?
Stand firm.
Deep. I can see that, yeah.
Although I'd take stand firm instead of break tackle.
The thing with jugs is that sometimes it wins games,
Yeah,
and stand firm not so much.
it requires you to blitz with him, which
Yeah.
means there's a 1 in 6 chance of you losing your blitz to a wild animal, which I'm not a fan of.
Even only rolled a double for block.
Yeah, so like if you haven't rolled block, I like jugs more, but because he's got block, it kind of makes it less valuable.
Yeah, if he, yeah, considering he has block, stand firm, I think would be slightly better. Make him stick to things and just punch them back. And he has guard. Stand firm guard is also good.
I don't know why I'm spending so long thinking about this, but I am voting for myself, obviously, or in this case, Ethelred. I am the only person so far. Ooh, Ratimo's gone for the Norse, and you haven't. Have you voted yet? Yeah, you have. Yeah, you got
Yeah,
the draw with Guido. Fine then. Let's see how this
I
works
think
out.
he'll score. The Norse and won't be more. It will be like a 1-1 draw, I think.
Okay, the next game is Sea Perverts Hit Me Baby One More Time Undead against James Cook's resurgent Voodoo Oceania. So the Undead are at home.
The surprising team that started winning.
I mean, basically, they lost all their first games, and they've just recently won all their games. So, like, they've drew their last game and they won their 2 games before that, right? So that's their run. There will be a free bribe in play for both teams. The Undead have 13 players. Looks pretty standard for a slightly beaten up 1460 Undead team.
Yeah. It sucks when you're at this TV and your whites are subpar. Because at higher TV you need to rely more and more on your whites. And they're not ready for carrying that burden.
Who do you think gets inducements, the Pro Elves or the Undead?
I think the Ella, I just saw that he has like 5 linemen, so it's 300.
So he's
I
got
think no one gets inducements.
the Undead have the slightly cheaper team. So Voodoo Oceania have 5 active players because one of them's missed next game. So they'll have 6 linemen, which is 360 obviously.
So Undead gets 50k in inducements.
So 110.
Forgot that
Yeah,
MNG.
50k. Yeah. They don't really
Babe.
have enough bank to spend anything else, so it's just going to be a babe, isn't
They
it?
could get a bribe, but they would spend all their treasury.
Not really worth it, is it?
Yeah, no. Considering that he's most likely already getting demoted, I would just hold on to the treasury if I want to keep with the team. Now it's now for the undead. I think it's to if you can win, win. But if not, try to develop a team.
I mean,
Yeah, Ratomo, it was just an hour of us talking about you and how trash your team is.
yeah.
Yes. Good luck with the replay of that.
Uh,
Take a Valium and a shot of whiskey.
yeah, this week's game for you doesn't look very good. Have you organised when you're playing it yet? What do undead need anyway? Yeah, exactly. They have players. They don't need money. They need bribes. I actually agree. That's what I was thinking. Is like you saving up to replace one of your regen players. Like they've kind of got. They don't want to buy more ghouls, right? Because
Yeah.
you need to level up the ghouls you've got. Maybe you want to have enough bank to replace a white, but yeah, I don't mind spending money on a
I
second
think
bribe.
you hold on to the money to replace schools because if you look at James' team, he has two elves with mighty blow and tackle. There's a good chance a ghoul might die this game.
Looks like 2A is you know a very what's the word? Damn it! Suddenly the word escapes me. We want to get our games played quickly because Ratmo's playing today at 19:30 UTC. He thinks, and I will be playing for Ethelred against the Norse. I think at 1900 UTC, so half an hour earlier. I might stream it as well. So if especially if you or Ethelred want to come and join me, in chat. We'll see.
I'll probably not be able to watch the match, but I can hop on to leave the random cyberbullying and leave.
Cool. So is everyone gonna go? So wait. I'm fine with the undead not spending the money. Save it in case something dies. They'll get one bribe. One bribe's enough to do some damage with two dirty players against, frankly, not very much of a.
It's one of those rare games where the both team positionals are kinda vulnerable, even if it's elves against undead. So we'll see.
There is a slight problem for the undead, and they only have one tackle.
Yeah, and it's in a ghoul, which even greatly exacerbates the problem that the ghouls might be unprotected.
It is wrestle tackle though, so you can pretty much be certain of getting one player down, then foul it. Right, that could be your game plan.
It could be, but if the Elven Union plays well, they will like put some tackle zones to prevent
okay.
assists.
So people are clearly believing that just because James Cook has had a good run recently, everyone believes that suddenly he's an amazing coach, and they're all voting for him now.
Have you voted for him also?
No, I saw that, and I'm kind of slightly sad. I don't have a working web. I'm dog sitting this week, so
I think it's gonna
my
be a
setup
tie.
doesn't have a webcam. So I've gone for the undead. I think the undead could win this. You know, it only takes one or two choice removals and a bit of a scrum for the pro elves to get into trouble.
I was originally voting for a tie and I went back to the tie. I think that James will like elf PS at TD and then the undead will just keep the ball and not slowly score.
The last game in 2A is Lefe's Humans, the Kung Fu Fighters, against Pelagius's Feyenoord and Sons. So Lefe is 18-20 with a full team. Yeah, with exactly 11 players. He's at home, so there's no get a ref or throw a rock.
Who saw this team at the start of the season and now it is now.
Yeah, was this it looked really healthy, like the perfect human team? It wasn't perfect, was it? It was good. It had some weird choices. It's got weirder as well. I think that shadowing is new, isn't it?
Yeah, shadowing is new, I
But
think,
I quite like that.
and
I like that though. I think that's an
I don't know if I like it.
blodge step guard shadowing means you're throwing that catcher in to get punched at the best of times. So you might as well give him something that means he clings to whatever you want to be hitting
Well,
anyway, right?
if the thing is to follow things that dodge away from it, I would get diving tackle.
But what if it's just to irritate? Like shadowing is underappreciated as a skill, especially like that's a movement 8 shadowing player with blodge steps. It's gonna be annoying to get away. Shadowing was there against me. Didn't work well against Leap. Sadly, Leap worked even more terribly, horribly.
That's funny when you leap out of someone with shadowing, they just go to the square that you were at.
I mean that's also funny for. Did you see that clip that Gdanik did, where he was leaping into a cage against someone with shadowing, and because of the shadowing, they shadowed where he leapt away from, and that removed his like assist or something, and totally messed up his blitz. And like people don't expect it, right? That's one
Yeah.
of the good things about it.
I'll probably, now that I think about it, I'll probably give that catcher fed if it was me.
Fend, you just saying that to annoy me.
Yes.
Anyway.
And to annoy anyone that plays against me if I had that player.
Ooh, belay. I think shadowing is way more annoying than fend. It doesn't work very well against me.
I think shadowing is much more niche than Fend.
Yeah.
Well, it's very good against teams that dodge all the time, but against bashy teams, they're just like, okay, you're shadowing.
Okay, so this Dark Elf team is 50k less than this human team. I feel like the Dark Elf team has everything it really needs as well.
Depends how hard Philadelphia wants to win this match. He could scam a wizard.
That's a lot of money to spend on a wizard.
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
why, like, if he really wants to win this match, scam the wizard. If not, just get a vape and go about your way.
There's a fair amount of tackle and mighty blow in this human team as well, so they are the bashy team. Oh, everyone's waiting for Palladius so far as well.
Yeah, like I said, like Lefe is a very good coach. No, not saying that, but I think he could improve his positioning just slightly.
Mm.
And against Elf's positioning is very important to defend.
Yeah, true.
Because you need to cover every avenue that they can get, basically.
All right. Well, that's 2A done, right? That's all the games. And all the upcoming games done. All right. So, and all the betting.
Yes.
So, which one do we do next? 1A or 1B?
Up to you. You want to do your league this morning or tonight? That's basically the question.
Well, should we wait? Who's in 2A? Wait, 1A.
It's me, Frankash, Armak, Ant-Man.
Should we do 1A because Franco's here, and maybe Spider will turn up for 1B in the evening. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Let's look at the division where the Chaos are reign supreme and the Chaos Wars also reign supreme.
The opposite of the lovely Elf division. Is that what you're thinking?
Yep. If any of these like Chaos or Shorf team would be in the other division, I think the leaderboard would look a bit different.
I mean, yes, is the short answer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's start with the first game, which was Kill Everything team against Frankash.
Yeah, poor Franco and his poor beleaguered Emery.
5 casualties. That must have been a lot of regen rolls that worked. 3 of them worked, I would guess, and 2 didn't, which resulted into MNGs. It was lucky. He got a Tomb Guardian injured, and it was MNG into MNG with DK.
Yeah,
But even so, let's see the
I
next match for Franco.
I hope for Franco's sake that his deaths in for Tomb Guardians has been used up for some little while.
Yeah, yeah. I
Uh,
think like in Blood Bowl 3 or Blood Bowl 2020, DK will get much less worse. So that is that.
is Decay the same as Niggle, where it just adds
Yeah, basically it's gonna
one?
be when you the injury dice when you do casualty, you just do a +1, not double roll it.
Yeah.
And considering that in the new rules the casualty is like 16, the results from 1 to 16, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
Frank
Frank,
Ash is
yeah, is in.
affable, is saying things. I
Yeah,
rolled a stupid amount of both times this game, especially in the first half. At least I killed the high elf goat.
a high level goes. Yeah. A
Ooh,
blodge, fend,
nice.
guard. Interesting order of skills. Fend first, and then block, and then guard, and then dodge, and then death.
Yeah, this team is all over the place. Like he built half of the team to kill anything that moved, but he also picked the guard first. Like he started as a control team, then he just went to the dark side.
I like Chaos do need guards. Like they do want to be a bit of a strength team, as well as a kill team. And like so,
Yeah, but for warriors, Mighty Blow develops them so much faster. You know, I mean,
yeah.
get guard, that's good, but yeah.
I mean, it makes them develop faster, but it also pushes all your skills back one layer, so that kind of makes it slower. And warriors can level fast enough with AG3, in my opinion. I score a
Yeah,
lot of
that's the
warrior
thing that
touchdowns.
Chaos Warriors have that most people forget is that they have H3 and can be ball carriers.
Yeah, so killed a high level goat and didn't lose anything themselves. Oh, although Stulberg did level up the strength up goat with 2 touchdowns. Talking of
Probably
being able to put,
block.
it should be blocked, yeah, or maybe wrestle.
Or maybe Mighty Blue tackle piling on.
First skills on a strength up goat, I don't think so, but you do you. So
I when you play Chaos, you kind of adhere to a social contract.
that's an interesting way of putting it. All right, so who bet on Starberg for this one?
Good question. Let's see. A lot of
So
people, including me.
Carmack,
Sorry.
Carmack did 17. Danton did.
Danton, Guido, Philadius, and me.
Palladius, Guido 37, and you.
And I didn't know if you put Danton or Danton also.
Yeah, I did in alphabetical order.
Okay.
So I also did Carmack. Yeah, I think I'm moving on. Anyone who wants to,
Yeah,
anyone who
it
wants to
was
check
not a good
cards.
matchup for you in terms of teams. Claw against Tomb Guardians, especially with this kind of level of killing, not
But
not good.
but skeletons are
Game.
like anti-claw. They're AV7 already, and they've got thick
Yeah,
skull. It's perfect.
the problem here, the
Was a
problem
joke.
here is that the guard is gonna outstrength even the Tomb Guardians,
Mm.
and the
But
Tomb Guardians will be faced against Claw and can't dodge away or anything,
yeah, and the fact
as you
that
can see with the stats.
the Tomb Guardians can't take block, whereas all the Chaos team is kind of strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, there you go. Tom says being 600 TV down and rolling nothing but pushes and both downs for 3 or 4 turns straight. Really wanted to forfeit if it was allowed.
Yeah, it's the kind of game that if you played on CCL, you might consider doing a tactical concede right from the start.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why Camry are not are good general rules of CCL, but when they get to Chalice, they just get ruffle stomped against Claw. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay, next game is Galentio, your game against
Oh, my
Ant-Man.
game.
Yeah. 1-1.
Wasn't I basically played as elves and he KO'd my team like I was elves, and I kept up with the meme of Ant-Man always draws. So yay.
The claw was a menace.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's what you said in Discord, and I replied, "Says the man who removed 4 chores."
Yeah, I was trying for go for hobgoblins that they would survive or just get pushes, but
Yeah,
I randomly blocked shorts and they would like KO or injure. I
yeah.
was like, what?
I remember watching this, and I was like, "What?" You know this. I think I joined, and you'd already cast one and KO'd another, and then you removed 2 more later on in the game.
Yeah, and I really try to go for the claw one because if I get the claw one out of the way, it takes like a lot of his removal power.
Hmm.
And I really tried to go for him, but he wouldn't just like he just kept on the like I knocked him down with Mighty Blow like 3 or 4 times and he just kept rolling. And just he was basically the one that KO'd my entire team basically. Alone, basically.
But no
Just
permanent
by himself.
damage.
But no
No,
permanent.
no.
Like I have a catcher MNG, my best catcher, which is gonna be awkward for the next game,
Hmm.
which is against Sweedo undead, so it's less 1 speed that I have against him. Let's see. I'm happy with the draw. I could have won at the end, but I didn't believe in the riot enough. I had a riot at turn 16, but
Oh, but you hadn't set up for it.
and
Harsh.
I kind of set it up for it, but I also didn't believe it so much. That's why I had alignment to try to level him up, to do the pass.
Yeah.
But also the kick was on my touchdown line, which is not good.
No, it's
And
not.
while trying to get the ball, I rolled 1 on the turn 15, which it didn't make any easier the pass. But I had like a 5+ pass to get it to a 3+ catch, and then I probably would have scored. But yeah, it's a 5+ without reroll. So yeah, I'm happy. Like I could have sheezed the win if I believed in the riot enough, but not an easy game for me nonetheless. So
No.
I'm happy with it.
Okay.
And also the bull centaur was a constant annoyance because he just pulled carried and I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, like, uh, also, like, imagine how much harder this game would have been if it had two balls instead of just one.
Yeah, it's not a good matchup for my team at all.
No.
Like those hobgoblins are really well developed. They're scary. Like oof, they're like you want to target them, but he defends them pretty well.
Yeah.
That's the thing with Ant-Man. He defends his team really well. He should be more aggressive. That's why maybe he draws so much. He's not very like I'm gonna gamble. He's
Yeah.
a very safe coach. Like I'm gonna grind you out, and if I get the 2-1 grind, great. If not, we'll tie. Basically. But yeah, it was a fun game. My team didn't die, and I had fun seeing some dwarfs getting removed. Win-win.
Yeah, it was a good
Like
stream as well.
I won't get to champs this season, so I'm just fighting to not get demoted at this point.
Hmm.
Which is if you look at the leaderboard, it's very neck and neck.
All right, we'll get there in
It
a
will
bit.
look,
Wait,
look
wait,
like
wait,
that,
wait,
but
wait, wait, wait. We'll get that. We'll get to the leaderboard after we've looked at all the games. So the
yeah,
next,
yeah.
so I've surreptitiously done the betting already. Congratulations to the 4 people who went for a draw, which was me, Spider, Danton, and Galentio, and Guido.
Guido, yeah. I voted for my win, of course.
Of course. Ant-Man didn't go for the draw, surprisingly. Anyway, the next game is Mongloom and his Jimmy's Leaping Avengers against Luke 444 and the Pillars of Heaven United replacement team, because Luke is the cover. And Luke won 3-0. What do you think of this one? We talked about this before, didn't we?
Yeah, I lost my game against him.
Mhm.
Maybe I could have played a little better to win it, but also the dice didn't just Like in the like it's the thing with elves. If your dice in the crucial situation just say no, it's okay. It's over. It's like we tried. But here it's I don't know what happened here, but the Kislev just got bashed out. Jesus, and it's not like it's a weak Kislev team at all. He has a lot of wrestle and block and blodge. He just got like I don't even know what happened. But he got like 14 armor breaks. I think it was a situation of maybe he got. I'll say I'll check the replay and tell you more. This is interesting because from the stats you can tell what happened basically.
No, I'm aware of Luke. I've played Luke in a couple of other leagues. He is a good American coach. Um,
I was very impressed with his gameplay to be honest.
yeah,
He he was an elf coach that even with my movement 11 catchers I couldn't like reliably touch down even if I was desperate. So yeah. Let's see what happened. Some keys, like two Kislev, like three Kislev removed at turn 6 already. He had the elf screen set up so he couldn't score. And then Moongloom got desperate and he just stole the ball, basically. Yeah. Moongloom tried to potato it, but wasn't able. Yep.
yeah, and this was all on the Kislev
First
drive, right?
drive.
So then I
And then the
assume,
second drive, it was just yeah, the ball was a bit back and forth on the second half.
so maybe not as horrifically one-sided as 3-0 would have you suggest. It's just the Dark Elves managed.
Oh, at the start of the second drive, the Kislev had like 6 players on the field.
Oh, okay.
So the Dark Elves just did like a three turn score basically.
Yeah.
And then just they fought off the Kislev tried to score, but they fought off the ball and then just scored.
Yeah,
Like
the usual thing of getting behind and then having to try and force.
yeah, the Kislev ended the game with 4 players standing and 3 stunned.
Jeez.
That I think there was a riot, but it was non-inconsensual. Basically, it was just okay.
Hmm.
Because the Kislev didn't have half of the team most of the game, basically. So yeah, that happens. Those games happen. Just
Yeah.
need to take the punch and continue.
Ooh. And Palladius, Ethelred, and Rasmo get points for that one.
I voted for Munglum, like most did.
Yeah, lots of people went for Mongloom. Lots of people. Well, this is what I thought you were going to say because we talked about this earlier. I think you said a lot of people will have been underestimating Luke because he's.
I played against him, and I was impressed. So, and not every day that an elf coach impresses me. But I'm getting around to the elf mentality. Like I spent like 1 year playing Blood Bowl at this point, and I'm slightly going the elf way instead of the bash way in terms of this point of my career. So I'm getting an eye for elf coaches now, and how good they are.
Okay, so the next game is Van Esterlane's Physics Boys against MB Carmack's Sabretooth Vagabonds. Basically, the Orc player allowed himself to be wrong-footed by an early spore threat on the left, overreacted to the switch to the right, split his team, and then opened up opportunities for Claw to do its thing. And then
Yeah.
Claw worked well this game. His Mighty Blow did not. But he was much more open than he needed to be.
Yep, I can see from this SPP game that it was that. Yeah, basically, it's the thing with Orcs versus Chaos at ITV. Like, Chaos has the advantage. And this is the Goblin team, so even the Goblins can't do much because the Goats will most times than not, with 1 assist, get 3 dice on the goblin, so it's easier to get them down. But this team is turning more and more into a. The warriors are turning into Nurgle warriors.
Yeah, all the movement busts.
Yeah, so the goats. I think the thing that Carmack needs to do to get even more ready for champs, which I think he's kind of almost guaranteed that he will go. Yeah, he will go to champs. Is to try to develop the goats. Like the Chaos Warriors are fine. He just needs more goats to carry the positional burden of
Uh,
going around the field.
yeah, Carmack's perennial problem of not actually having a killer goat to play with as well.
Yeah, and he has good goats to go for vanity passes. He has like agility goats that can catch down 2+. Let's see what he does. I don't know. I will see his next game. But yeah, it will. I like most people voted for Carmack, obviously.
Yeah.
So
Broccoli,
it was.
Palladius. Uh,
Me,
yeah,
you,
Galentio,
Ratamo, and Guido.
Guido, me, and Ratimo. Is that it? Did I get everyone? Yes, I did. Yeah, that is everyone. Okay, cool.
Now, Jurassic Park against the Living Dead.
Sweeto against Horgster.
What we have here? It was a. Looking at the stats, it was a wash off. The lizards had more blocks, but the undead have better luck in terms of armor breaks and removals. So it kind of balanced out, and I bet like a skink. Let me see the stats. Yeah, it was basically skinks scoring out of left field, basically, and I think the dinosaurs might have struggled a bit. This is another good one to watch, the Vengeful Dice, because I want to know which players got removed easily. Because the skinks are the Chorus. That's basically changes the game.
Yeah, yeah. When Saurus leave the pitch for lizards, it's a real issue. Whereas obviously, they kind of expect to lose a few skinks. Although 8 players being removed from the pitch is a lot.
Vengeful Dice is bugged, showing skills like
And Sweeto had a send off as well, so I imagine there was some fouling going on in there to bump up those armor and removal stats.
Okay, Vengeful Dice just bugged out for me. It's only showing his
Vengeful
live game now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine. Nothing died except, unfortunately, for Sweeto, his killer.
Okay, it's showing now.
His killer white got movement bust, which is a real pain for undead who kind of need all their agi 3 players to be helpful.
Okay. It was not as bad as it shows. Most of the removals were at the end of the second drive. Or on the second drive. The first drive was pretty close. The dinos just scored turn dates mostly. And then the second half was crazy.
The second half was crazy.
Yeah, the undead scored early. The lizard scored fast, and then the undead also scored like in 2 turns or 3.
Oh, what? So 3 of the touchdowns were in the second half.
Yeah, and most of those removals that undead have is in the second half. So basically, the lizards tried to defend, but the undead just kept removing players on every blitz, basically. This was basically, if it was a normal game, Hogster would win, basically, from what I see. He did the 2-1 grind. He scored quickly to try to get KOs back, which he didn't. He just got a skink, and they just got really lucky at the end of the game with the removals. So yeah, he had a 2-1 grind setup, but then the undead just opened the way forcibly to score. It happens. And I'm playing Sweeto next game, and I And, I don't know if I like it very much.
You're
Undead
not looking
against
forward to
humans
it.
is always
Yeah, undead are kind of better humans, aren't they?
Jesus.
As I like saying.
That's racist. You're racist against humanity.
Humans are just the worst. Who wants to go into a fantasy setting and choose to play humans? Jesus.
Humans are so interesting. Shut up. Play discount store Vikings.
Anyway, that concludes the betting scores for this week. So I'm going to hide them now. There you go. But there's a moment to look at them if you would like. Bye. Okay. So let's look at this table though. So as you mentioned, MB Carmack has clinched his move up to the top tier.
Yeah, he probably be the winner of the division.
Franco says, as an Imperial Guard player, I feel attacked. Which, frankly, Imperial Guard pretty much are constantly just attacked. So
Imperial Guard are just worst humans.
yeah, they're not even the main humans in the game. They're like secondary worse humans than the main humans.
It's the humans that go to Coachella.
um, yeah. Would you like to play the superhuman race of killing machines that the humanity has invented, or a bunch of guys with the worst weapons in the game? Just saying. All right, moving on.
Jesus.
So yes, as you mentioned earlier, Carmack has clinched his place in the champs, right?
Yeah, basically.
He's 6 points ahead of the next. So it would be like its second goes up as well, right? So he literally can't be overtaken.
Yeah, he can't. He can't get. Not. He can't.
He can't fail to
be.
qualify. Fail to qualify, yeah.
He can fail to win the division. He just needs to basically draw or win a match, basically at this point. But
Even a draw.
yeah,
Oh no,
even
no, a draw. A draw might it would take touchdown difference, right? And
if he
Starbuck
draws the
has.
next game, which is against the other Chaos, he will probably win the division.
Oh yeah, that's a point. It's a 6 pointer. He has to lose the next one for Starbuck to overtake him.
Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, well done, Carmack.
He has the Chaos team that I would want to have someday.
What, Carmack?
But don't have the patience to develop it, which is like a more
His Chaos team's terrible. His Chaos team is like it's missing so many important Chaos pieces. He doesn't actually have a killer. It's bad.
I think no. I think he started the season with the killer, but he died. Right?
Yeah. Well, no. It was end of last season, right? It's when he got fouled to death by what?
I think it was the almost the legend one that died.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Well, that happens. He had a good team.
Yeah. This is why you need to build more than one killer.
Yeah. Yeah, just get two mighty blow claw goats.
Yeah.
Just to be toxic.
Or 4, just in case, backup. And
For
the backup, and backup for the backup for the backup. Anyway, and Starberg's doing pretty well. He does, he's got, that's a hard run in for his penultimate game.
Well, it's easier to score when the other team doesn't have players.
Yeah, exactly.
That's basically what's happening.
This may be a game where he gets to do that as well, because, a control Chaos team meeting a kill Chaos team is usually not very good for the control one, right?
I think he's a very good contender for the golden
boot.
The golden boot isn't for fouling.
Oh, okay.
It's the one with the most casts on the entire OCC, because he has 28 casts.
Oh, I got that my second season. I forgot what it's called.
Yes, 28 casts this season. That's an average of like what?
Well, 7 games. That's 4 cas a game.
Yeah, that's crazy. An average of 4 casts a game.
Every game, your opponent's gonna have 4 less players than you at some point. That's quite nice, isn't it?
Not accounting KOs even.
Yeah, just cas.
Just straight cast. So yeah, that's how I won against him the first game because he wasn't able to delete my team basically, and I just won, and the others weren't so lucky basically.
But after him is Ant-Man with his actually not that many draws this season, actually winning games, and
Yeah.
Hawkster with an entirely even record. Oh wait! Is Luke actually higher?
Lux is actually no.
Luke is actually on 10 points, right? Because it's the combination of Luke and Trunkhead together. So
Is
Luke,
it? Is it
yeah.
that there is? I thought like since replacement teams don't account for the
Oh yeah, it doesn't make no difference anyway, does it? Because
yeah
he
they
can't.
don't account for any promotions or
Yeah, he
demotions,
can't promote anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. He can't play the same.
which makes the emotion even more scary because like if the temp team doesn't account for the demotion calculations, so you know.
Ah, yeah. So if it's in the demotion area, then there's still 3 teams who are getting demoted
Yeah,
anyway. Yeah. But at the moment,
which
it
might
looks.
be me also. But
Well, Trunkhead. Oh, sorry, no. Trunkhead it has permanently demoted himself. So Franco, Van Esterlane. Or there's actually that is a big group in the middle there above Franco.
mhm.
Franco needs to win 2 games to not go down.
Yeah, I
But
need to. If I win against Swedo, there's a very good chance I won't get demoted also, and I'm playing him next. I'm
yeah,
playing him Sunday at 12 UK time.
but basically from Luke down to Van Esterlane are all actually in the possible demotion spot, aren't they?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
that's,
and even Oxter with some luck can get demoted. It's very neck and neck. Like even Oxter, which is fourth, isn't safe from demotion. He can
yeah,
technically get demoted yet. So
indeed.
that's gonna be an interesting couple of
Last couple of
match
games.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, becoming match days, Franco versus Van Esterlane. This is actually interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because uh,
He's gonna get all the inducements also
well,
again.
this is 2 strength control teams facing each other, right? So the Orcs obviously have more mighty blow, but oh, and Franco is missing one of his Tomb Guardians, which is pretty big, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's another game of he has a one less Tomb Guardian. He's out guarded as all hell.
So
I think yeah.
well, 12 players, 14-10
Hmm,
against the
12
Orcs.
players
They also 12 players. Yeah.
without his ball carrier, but he
Mm,
still has like the other Blitzer without sure hands to carry it. I guess the stand firm lodge one. And he doesn't need that much tackle because yeah, he doesn't need tackle for the. I think East Lane is gonna carry the ball with the Farad one, or it's the name Farad one, and just roll with it. And I think it's gonna be a tough game for the Camry. They get outguarded a lot.
yeah, it's obviously going to be a tough game to
Maybe
take Camry.
maybe get Ramtut. I
No,
think
I
that's
wouldn't get ramped up because you can get a Merc Tomb Guardian and what's his name? And
the Strength Force triple one,
yeah, him.
which is named.
I want to say Silly Billy, but that's obviously not.
Silly Billy, yeah, Silly Billy. That's Silly Billy the skeleton. Setek.
Setek, there you go. Yeah, there you go. And
Yeah,
basically, Slibly and Setek are two of the better star players, and that's why I mixed them up. You know, they're
yes.
both almost
Tom
quite competitive.
says at this point he's just here to stomp people and cut some of these ITV chaos teams.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Well, yeah.
Well, you did kill a goat that was very good. So you did. You are doing some. You're doing community work basically at this point. But yeah, it's not gonna be an easy game for you. Depends on if the works can stabilize quickly. It's gonna be difficult for you to steal the ball. Basically, he
I
has a
mean,
lot of luck and God.
he could get a bribe, Setek, and a a Merc Tomb Guardian, and that,
I
that
think
would
this is the kind of game where a wizard, even with Camry, is not that bad because he has a lot of blodge and
a wizard would require spending 50k of his own bank, which I think would be worth it.
be worth it.
But
Yeah.
okay, so the orcs do have a lot of guard, but having 4 strength 5 players and 2 strength 4 players would make up for that a bit, maybe.
Mm. I don't think so, but could work. Depends on a lot of things. Depends on the game goes because the win in there's like two types of games in this situation. The block heavy game, which the orcs win, or the one where they can't stabilize for anything because they just keep rolling 1 and 9s or can't pick up the ball, and the skeletons just try to overwhelm them. And there the wizard is better even, but
But
yeah.
missing the sure hands ball carrier is actually pretty good if you take Setek too, because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
strip ball.
Yeah, yeah. I think Wizard and Setek for me because it's like if they don't stabilize, Setek can just steal the ball. If not, if they cage up, you still have the Wizard as a resort to open that cage because if you try to go base with Tomb Guardians, the Darks will just outguard him and punch him out again.
But you can kind of separate out. You can like try and 1-to-1 the Tomb Guardians against more expensive players, right? Tomb Guardians are 100k or 130 if you get a Merc one, and like
Mm-hmm.
the cheapest Orc players, well, other than the Goblins, I guess that he's going to try and stick the Goblins on and then dodge away the
Yeah,
Black Orcs, right? But you
like
still,
what you can do is stick the goblins on the Tomb Guardians, and all of a sudden Tomb Guardians are useless because they need to roll pals basically to
yeah,
get out.
it's interesting though, isn't it?
hmm
Who'd you go for?
I, I voted for Tom, but I just talked my way out of it, so I'm going for East Lane.
I can hear,
Yeah,
I can hear you
East Lane has
clicking.
more to win
I can hear
this
you
game.
clicking. I can see the number going up and down in different places. It's kind of funny watching.
Yeah, I think that East Lane wants to win this match more than Tom.
I think a draw is actually a pretty likely result, right? I
It's
think
pretty likely, but the least likely is Tom winning because he needs to. It's a very meta orc team with some goblins for some reason, and that's not a good matchup for
I mean
Camry
Tom
as high
does have
team.
tackle mighty blow, so it could go one of two ways. Either the goblins totally ruin Tom's day and take the Tomb Guardians out of action, or he murders a bunch of goblins and then suddenly the game's a lot easier, right?
You'd say that, but even if all the goblins go out, he still has 10 angry orcs, no, 9 angry orcs and a troll to go against with a lot of guard and piling on and mighty blow. It's-
I mean, but Franco has 8 of his own players who are angry and a bunch of skeletons who will be fouling as well. So maybe he'll go
yeah,
to
yeah, it's
you know
it's a very depend like the first 4 turns of the game will define the entire game kind of thing.
yeah. I would not be surprised if Franco won as much as I would not be surprised if
Yeah,
Alice Lane won.
of course, it's possible. It's Blood Bowl,
Yeah,
and East Lane is not the best coach for being safe. He's a bit of a daredevil sometimes. Just sometimes he rolls dices,
I
but
think also maybe this is a matchup that he's probably not experienced very often, having a high TV Orc team against
Mhm.
a Khemri
like
team who are used to having
orc teams
inducements.
that are not used to Camry do a lot of mistakes. Yes.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
I think at this level, it's not likely.
yeah.
But
All
never
right.
know.
Next one is Hawksters Lizards against Monglooms Leaping Avengers, or Jimmy's Leaping
Hmm.
Avengers. Sorry.
The
So
missing next game Avengers.
well, let's have a look at that in a second. 1950 Lizards
Mm-hmm.
with an annoying movement up, agi up, sprint, short feet skink, which is a nightmare to deal with, and a really nice selection of Saurus.
Yes.
Loads of guard.
Against
And
I
don't
guess
get
the
wrecked, all right?
mhm,
Against Mongloom, 16-20 at the moment.
at the moment. You'll get two. You'll get two
120.
loners.
Yeah, so that's
He
1740. Maybe
still has
17.
160k to spend, so he can
Yeah,
buy
so he might be
one.
down. He might. Yeah, he can't buy 3 players. I guess he could buy another catcher, which would change the TV a little bit. But and he's got a level to take, which is either going to be guard or a wrestle by the looks of it. He's got
This
a
is
lot
the
of
kind of
guard,
game.
hasn't he?
This is kind of game where his catchers are useful to block even because they can hunt the skinks.
Yeah, so like I mean, even the killer, right? The killer can just needs to roll a 3+ to get onto a skink, and
Yeah, yeah,
that's pretty
and
sweet.
that killer gave me a lot of trouble when I played against him.
Yeah, strength 2 ball carrying against Kislev pretty is like one of the better matchups for Kislev, I think.
Now that I look at it, it's not. I voted for a draw, but I think I'm gonna vote for Monglum to win. To be honest, it's a bad matchup for the Lizards. Only if they can just basically remove the other team is that I see them winning comfortably.
I
If
mean,
not, they're gonna spend all game fearing stuff.
the lizards do have enough guard to make the cage a safe place, right? So or a safer place.
Yeah, but also it makes them more passive and not spread out as much on the field.
Well, and also makes it harder to protect all the other skinks, right? So
Yep.
uh,
If you have like four swords protecting the ball, the skinks are gonna start to feel uncomfortable. The other ones,
yeah, which isn't
especially with
necessarily a
that
bad
killer
thing.
on the loose.
Hmm.
But I think that the only thing that's on favor of the lizardman is that the strip ball lineman is out of the game, which is quite a blow for Moongloom on this matchup.
I mean, strip would make it a lot easier, but none of the skinks have block, so
Mm-hmm.
uh, you
Yeah,
know,
any of the linemen or the blitzers can go for it. Yeah.
or even the catchers, get a guard
Mm-hmm.
in there. There's an agi 4 guarder,
Yeah.
and then anyone can hit any skink more or less.
Agi guard is just evil.
I mean,
Um,
the blitz, the killer being the only one with tackle could be an issue, right? So
yes, but there's a lot of people with block, so kinda it's not that bad.
no.
So especially the killer, the one that has tackle is the killer.
So
You
I've
know,
also gone for Mongloom, but I feel like it's not that it's not
easy.
everyone's voting kind of for Mongloom or a draw, and actually I think it could almost go in all 3 directions as
I
always.
think I think a draw is unlikely. It's the least likely result. I think
Yeah,
one
because
of
the
them is
pressure
gonna win.
from the Kislev should make it go one way or the other. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, or the Kislev are gonna pressure and just steal the ball and win by touchdowns, or the Lizardmen are just gonna start removing Kislev and just win the game because the Kislev don't have players. But the
Okay,
draw is unlikely.
yeah. Next one is your match against Swedo. So
Yep.
the other bad thing about the White getting movement busted is he misses out this game. So you're
Oh,
not
that's good.
facing the worst killer that Swedo has.
It
There,
will, the guard white will be the killer this game, I
yeah,
guess.
it does mean they are
But
1600 with
hmm,
13 players. So and they
that's-
have a bribe stadium at home, so there will be some fouling.
there will be some falling, and then they have inducements where they most likely will get another bribe on top of that one.
Yeah, they got 80k, which seems like the right amount to have more bribes, doesn't it?
Yeah, getting that blitzer dead, the mighty blow guard, the one that I had, kind of created a hole on my team in terms of guard. But I still kind of outguard him. If the ogre behaves, he can be a very important piece to fight against the mummies.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm simply faster than him, but he also has a strip ball ghoul, which is annoying. I might be prioritize killing that ghoul first, or the blodge one, or the blodge zombie, if the ghoul not available.
I mean, you also have blood sure hands, right? So
Yes, I have sure hands, and that's a good thrower. I think he's gonna die soon because it's a good thrower. When I have good throwers, they die basically. Like every good thrower I had died to one dice or a naked fall. So I'm not expecting him to live much longer. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be even on the bashing department, it's gonna be a close game, I think.
You got enough money to buy a lineman? Would you consider going up to 13?
No, I don't think I'll buy a lineman. I have 12 players. I think that's enough for undead. Even for undead, because after that just gets. Because if I get a lineman, he gets a wizard if he wants. You know?
I think he'd probably still get a bribe rolling, spending more for the wizard, but.
Bribe and then babe, and if I KO stuff, they come back, you know.
Yeah.
So I prefer being like this. I have the catcher to be the I'm gonna score threat from anywhere in the pitch. Almost.
How important do you think the win is for you? Do you think you need to win? You have to win.
I need to win to stay in the division, I think. Especially considering that my last match is against Lizards, which is even harder than this matchup. So I think my fate on this division will be decided on this game. Basically, it's my final this season.
Yeah, and you're within 1 point of each other as well, so pretty big deal.
If I win, I'm most likely secured and will stay in Division 1. If not, I'll probably go to Division 2. And like I announced, most likely if OCC goes to Blood Bowl 3, I'll go Elven Union. How things look now. Elven Union or something silly, not humans. I think I'm getting past my humans phase. I'll still play them a lot on Blood Bowl 3. You know? They're still gonna be one of my favorite teams, but they might not be my main.
Yeah. Okay. Next, he says, having completely lost track of where he is. Yes. I went for a draw, by the way. Is the chaos off? So MB Carmack's Sabretooth Vagabonds against Stolberg's OCC Deathbringers. And they both even have the same thingy.
This is going to be a fun game to watch.
Actually, wait. Carmack's at home. So let's look at Carmack's team first. So we kind of looked at them a bit on the other thing, but 3 movement bust warriors. And one of them's Agi bust as well for the proper Nurgle warrior experience. A couple of Agi ups, which is nice. He's now got like a backup ball player.
I think. What do I think here? I think the Stalberg's team is a better team, a better Chaos team. But I think Carmack is a better Chaos coach. So it's gonna be an interesting game. I voted for Carmack to win. But I wouldn't be surprised that Carmack would try to not go for a bashing game and try to go for a tie and just save his team for champs.
I guess he doesn't need to win at all, does he? So, but you know, I definitely think he'll try to win. He likes winning.
Right? Yeah, everyone likes winning. But yeah, and he has the goat that you alluded that it's a weird goat because it doesn't have my piling on. He went frenzy as the last one. I would go piling on. Piling on a tackle. But yeah, that's a weird goat, the Wildfire Colors.
I do like. Well, so this is the weird thing. I wouldn't build a player like that, but I do like having a frenzy goat. I'd usually pick it earlier, and I usually combine it with jugs, so that you have a kind of like they can build a real bit, surfing threat.
This looks like he made a Blodge Guard, and he just gave it Mighty Blow because he didn't know what to give him. Then gave him Claw because I already have Mighty Blow. Then just decided to go Frenzy at the end. He went to 3 archetypes of players in one.
I'm inclined to go for. I do think Carmack is a better coach as well. I'm almost inclined to go for one of the other results just to be different, but I'll go for Carmack. Fine.
Yeah, I think Carmack is gonna win.
I
But
reserve the right to
Thai
change
is
it.
very likely.
Yeah,
Also.
no, I can't. No, I said it. I have to go for Carmack. Yeah, let's stick with Carmack.
But like I said, the Stalberg team is a better Chaos team than the other one, the
Okay,
Carmack one.
last game of this recap, and we'll be back at 10 p.m.
Mhm.
UK time or
No, we still need to. Oh no,
2100. Yeah,
we don't need.
we're doing one more game, which is Luke's Pillars of Heaven, not Trunkheads, Luke's, against the Ant-Man's Infernal Demon Smiths. So Luke is on 1970 now
Mm-hmm.
with 12 players. Not enough money to buy anything else. So this is what his team will look like. He has to throw a rock and get a ref. Okay, cancels. But, you know, nice looking team. Couple of Mighty Blow, one of them with Piling On, the other one the Witch with Jugs.
Probably get the Wizard.
Smattering card. What, 1970 against Ant-Man's 2090. So yeah, he could afford to get a Wizard. Like, no, does he need to? Does he want to? I guess he's not playing the team anymore next season. What's he saving for? He might as well.
Might as well. It's like me with my High Elves on 1B. I just started, instead of going for the most reliable inducements, I just started going for the star players to try them out. But yeah, it's gonna be a tough game for.
Chorfs are hard for Dark Elves, aren't they? There's lots of dodge that's being negated.
And he has the other
all
bull
tackle.
back.
Yeah, and like both bulls and all those Chorfs all have tackle. That's a lot of.
I still voted for the draw because it's Ant-Man.
It's interesting. I've actually gone for Luke because of how much no one's been voting for him and how good a coach he is.
I think he has a good chance to target the. He doesn't have enough tackle even for that.
I think he's got a good chance to wizard the ball and score.
Depends,
you know, and then win that way, right?
Yeah, I think that's the way he's gonna win, but also I think that's the way it's gonna be tied. No.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna use the wizards and like stall the dwarfs the best he can, but I think he'll get auto removed like I did. That's too much tackle for this team. Like, it's a good team with a lot of blodge, but we're talking half of a team with tackle, more than half. Yeah. And he's a very safe coach, so he'll have trouble getting the ball out even if he uses wizard. So I think it's a tie. But I think the one that wants to win it most is Ant-Man, so he can secure champs a bit more.
I thought Ant-Man had given up on Blood Bowl and hate it. Am I getting my Chorf teams mixed up?
Yeah. I think it was Ant-Man, right?
Yeah, I think so too.
I think he's gonna leave Blood Bowl for now.
So
for good.
Yeah, I don't think he cares.
The season.
I think he's just managed to happily win some games without just by clawing up positions to death, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's which opens up another spot for promotion, like the fourth one, even if he wins. So even I can get promoted if I win both my games. I might be in champs, but do I really want to?
Yes, of course you do. Everyone always wants to get promoted to the top.
I'm barely surviving when a champs will murder my team.
I would rather. Oh, and thanks, Weblin. Yeah, good stuff. Thank you very much, and thanks for chatting as well. And yeah, good luck with your games. I'm playing Ethelred's game tonight. So we'll see that one. We'll see that result before tonight's stream. But yeah, so, I'd much rather get into champs and get demoted to the bottom, as I did last time I was in champs.
Make a legend out of your team.
Yeah.
The team that went straight to tier 2 after champs.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'd rather do that than not get to champs at all.
I'll still try, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that I'm still even in contention to get to champs. Even,
yeah,
so.
I mean, how many human? There have been a couple of human teams now, but still not that many human teams have been in champs, right? Like
This season has two. What?
yeah, but I think that might be it, right? I think Danton might have been the first.
Yeah, the
humans to get to
Danton team
Australia.
is gonna retire, and Danton is gonna be busy too much busy to play Blood Bowl even.
Mm-hmm.
So he might be come back on Blood Bowl 3 from what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
Or if Blood Bowl 3 doesn't release ever,
We'll
Blood Bowl 2
see.
next
We'll
year.
see. Let's wait till the end of the season and the start of a new one before we because
Yeah.
we've had quite a lot of people say I'm not playing anymore, and then three or 4 weeks later go, oh, I'll sign up.
Yeah, they have those 2 weeks without playing Blood Bowl and they start scratching themselves like,
Yeah,
I need my fix.
exactly. Anyway, as some of the more observant people notice, I have actually started the raid for Misspelled Tree already, because I'm pretty sure we could accidentally keep talking forever, and it's safer to send us at some point. So thanks for joining us, everyone who did, and thank you for being with me as well, Galentio.
No problem.
Cool.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. You went down all the